I'm probably late to this since Citizencon has come and gone, but hey, I've been busy. But in this video, I'm going to give you guys my take on some things, some insight and how I feel about stuff. And yes, I'm also going to cover, very quickly, Squadron 42 and what I think about that. The first segment that I want to cover is the Fix It and Fly It segment, which is also known as the multi-crew gameplay demonstration. Overall, this was very impressive to me. I'm quite happy with what they brought in, but I do have a few concerns. My first concern is that, is the juice going to be worth the squeeze? And what I mean by that is, if I'm putting in a lot of guys into a ship, is this ship going to actually be very powerful? Is it going to properly reflect a crew of 8 or more people in it? I have a very strong belief that when it comes to crewed balance, you typically follow the mathematical equation of 1 + 1 = 3, meaning that for every crewed vehicle, you are as effective as 3 other people or 3 other vehicles. I hope that Star Citizen fulfills that, or at least gets close to that. I don't want multi-crew to become some type of busybody work that players will do for fun, but the most efficient and effective way to do things is just to swarm multi-crew ships with a lot of smaller ships, because it's just easier to do that. So if they can nail the logistics of the multi-crew gameplay and make it not just fun and exciting, but also effective, and make it so that if you're running a large multi-crew ship, you are a very credible and powerful threat to any single seat or smaller ship, you know, maybe 2-man crew, etc. The reason why I think this is such an important part of gameplay is that multi-crew and engineering and things like that, people want to do that. They want to be part of a crew on a ship. They don't necessarily want to be hard chargers and fighter pilots or even turret gunners. They want to take a more support role, and this is an excellent way for Star Citizen to kind of get that role into the game for those types of players. It's a very long neglected role that I know a lot of people want to do, so that is why it is so important that this pulls through. Think about Sea of Thieves. Think about even Arcade. Think about, heck, even Battlefield, repairing things from the inside, buffing the HP, making sure things stays alive. If they can pull that off and simulate that, whether through abstract means or direct means, it'll be a hit, and I'm really looking forward to it. Again, just hope they don't mess it up. The next, and probably my most favorite demonstration, comes the panel that Sean Tracy did, which covered all of the FPS mechanics. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. CIG, the people who work there, they're not stupid. And they know that the current game's TTK was way too fast. It was way too short. And thankfully, CIG made the right changes and they buffed the time to kill significantly. This is what we need in the game. This is what all players need. Even if they don't know it, they need it. Players falling over dead from taking a few gunshots, it's not fun for anybody. It might be fun for you to be doing it until it happens to you, and then it's not. You may see some gripes and whines on the forums that, oh, you know, it's less skill that I should be able to get the jump on somebody and kill 5 or 6 people. That doesn't change anything. That really doesn't change anything. What, you'll kill maybe 1 or 2 before they can react, or maybe just 1? It doesn't matter. This is an MMO. It's trying to be an MMO. Not a big deal. They've also reduced the force reactions, which is the weapon push. That's great. Anybody who's played knows that weapon push, force reaction, absolutely annoying. I'm glad to see that gone as well. All the other systems that are in place, also, they just look good. I can't say that enough. Everything about the FPS combat changes looks great. I'm not a big fan of sliding. Whatever. It's not my hill to die on. I have no real strong opinions one way or another about it. I think it looks silly. Not a big fan, but I will take sliding if it means I get a longer time to kill, better, you know, chances of being revived, just better tactical gameplay. Let people slide as much as they want. I don't care, as long as I get, you know, what I listed before. The next part I want to talk about was the raids panel, the more ground missions, things to do on the ground. That one as well. I feel like this is the beginnings of org content, org features. Right now, it's undeniable that if you're playing in the PU, the live version as it is now, there's really not a whole lot for orgs to do, which sucks. I'm an org guy. I love my org. I want to do things with the Enclave. There's really not a whole lot to do. We could make things up in our heads and do things for fun, which we do, but I'm looking for something more structured that the game recognizes, and it looks like the raids are that. And my mind is already, the wheels are turning when it comes to raids and what they may feature and what it means for the game. I envision getting a bunch of guys together, go into a big raid, have an outside crew doing perimeter defense while the inside guys are doing their job getting the stuff. You know, the guys on the outside are holding the line, keeping all the other bad guys from coming in and stopping us. The guys on the inside are getting all the stuff, bringing it out. We're loading it up. We're flying into space, and we're selling our stolen goods or whatever we're doing. I envision that. I envision scouting out other orgs as they're about to go do a raid and ambushing them when they get in there, or waiting for them to get in there, coming in later, and taking their hard-earned goods, right? This is the kind of sandboxy elements that I'm envisioning with this system. And once you actually have org activities to do and things for orgs to do that are more than 1 or 5 people, you're going to start seeing the big orgs playing the game again, and you're going to see less and less of this focus on solo content and things like that. There will always be solo content. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's all Star Citizen is right now, and we need group content. And this is the kind of group content I want. Bring it on. Bring on the raids. Bring on the ground raids. Bring on anything that requires me to bring like a squad or more people, like 10 or plus people. I want it. I'm ready. On the topic of orgs, they covered the base building and land and plots, as well as high sec. Was it high sec? It was low sec and no sec. This was a shock, and I was originally apprehensive about this until I seen it. And again, I'm all about it. I am ready for this. A lot of people are worried. They say, oh, well, why would I ever go out to NoSec where, yes, I don't pay taxes and I get the better resource, but people might blow my stuff up. I envision going out into NoSec or even LowSec as you're building an outpost. You're building your main base and your main industrial base. You're going to build that in high sec, maybe low sec, right? And that's where you're going to stock up and build up and make sure you get everything ready to go. And then when you're ready to go out on the adventure and expand your faction or your empire or whatever it is that you have, you're going to go out into NoSec with that, and you're going to start doing that. And hey, you might, if you come prepared, you might last for a long time. You might last forever. Or maybe you won't, and another org, or even maybe Vanduul or some type of NPC may blow up your outpost, and that's the end of that. But it's not the end of your life in that game. You're not set back forever. A lot of other games have it where you're permanently dead, you're permanently gone. But by having the high sec, low sec, no sec system, you never actually lose your true base of power, which means that you can recoup your losses and you can build back up and you can get back out there. Again, much like raids, this is the org activity we've needed, and it's coming. And it's not just the org activity. They showed off building furniture and decorations and housing. People love that. Crafting materials, weapons, ships, components, all that stuff. People love that. I could not believe when I saw this stuff at Star Citizen. The hype for me is through the roof with this. I'm not usually a base building guy, but now I think I am. And I'm not too big on guild ownership, but you know, or I should say org ownership, but if orgs are going to own things out in the NoSec space, and they're going to influence the economy and influence the game, I am all about that. I'm loving it. So the final thing I want to talk about, and I saved it for last, is, of course, Squadron 42. I did a video months ago asking people, and it was applied to a poll, who cares about Squadron 42? It was like 10% of people cared about it. And I was like, whatever, I don't care about Squadron 42, it's stupid, dumb, COD in space, whatever. Well, I could admit when I'm wrong. 100%, I could admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong. I now actually care about Squadron 42. I now want to play Squadron 42. It blows my mind what I saw. I've watched the Hold the Line gameplay elements at least 3 times so far, in its entirety. I've never been that impressed by a single-player demonstration. And I know a lot of it is a cinematic engine-rendered cutscene. I get that. But just the quality of it and seeing it now, it's made me a believer. Then that's how I could really sum up this entirety of Citizencon, is it's made me a believer. So yes, I rescind my previous statements. I was incorrect. I am excited for Squadron 42. I am excited for the entire project. I am ready for all of it. This Citizencon was a breath of fresh air. It's rejuvenated my love for the game, and in some ways, it makes me not want to play the current version of the game. It makes me want to play that new version, but Pyro's coming, and I'm excited.